So let's listen in live as Mayor Chow begins her remarks on this Wednesday morning.
Half of our neighbors are struggling. Some of them are taking double shifts, have a second job, and they're working hard. Yet they have to, from time to time, say no to the kids when the kids needs extra money for a winter coat or perhaps a field trip or pizza day. And many of them have to rely on food bank. We've seen a lot of report. Daily Bread Food Bank, whose hungry reports, the Toronto Community Foundation report that take the pulse of the city, all of them are saying the rising cost, and even if you make $40,000 a year, it's not living wage, and you are struggling. And one of the reasons why people are struggling, we know, it's because of the housing crisis. That is why it's my number one priority. That is why I'm working hard to deal with this housing crisis. I know the difference affordable homes can make to a life, because when my parents moved to Canada, we didn't have much. My mom was a maid. And as a teenager, we never had to go to a food bank. We never had to struggle the way people are struggling now. Why? Because the apartment that I was living in St. Jamestown, the rent was affordable. No longer. What is happening now is that when tenants move out, or when a company needs to, they want to renovate and they move people out, some face evictions. 50% of Torontonians are renters, and that's half of our city that could be reno-evicted, which is why in this council we have a strong renovation bylaws that we would approve today. A bylaw that makes the landlord demonstrate that they are renovating in good faith and will offer the unit back to the tenant, and that's what we need, and that's why it's one of my items later today or first thing tomorrow. Of course, we can't just be protecting tenants. We need to build more rental homes now. We know that. And unfortunately, the math doesn't work. The market is stuck. The housing starts in September this year are down 81% to last year. Why? Because the math just doesn't work for the builders. The builders like Richard Lyle, who represent all of the builders of residential homes across Ontario. This is Reshcon. And he's saying that the development charges are so high, the building cost is high, everything is high, interest rate especially are very high, and they can't build. They're also saying that the approval time was too long. So what we did was we sped up the approval time, and that site plan went from 5 years to 86 days. The Ontario plan, the official plan amendment, OPA approval, used to be almost 5 years, is now 115 days. So speeding things up helps, but the interest rate cost is just really making it very difficult. So the first item at council is going to be the rental homes incentive program that provide financial incentives by exempting all development charges on the first 7,000 units of rental homes. 20% of that has to be affordable, which is a third of people's income. This will lower the cost for the builders. And on top of that, we are providing a discount of 15% on property tax for all purpose-built rentals lasting 35 years. If they are affordable, the entire property tax will be exempt. And we met with at least 80 to 100 builders all the builders in the city of Toronto. We had a meeting with them last week. They are saying, when can you start this program? What do you mean it's only 7,000 units? I said, well, 7,000 is what we're starting now, 100% backed by the city financial means, but we cannot do more than 7,000. We need the federal and the provincial government to step in so that we could offer the other 13,000 units. And that together, we're talking about 20,000 housing units, so that these will be homes. Some of them affordable, some of them stable, where stable income, for people that are working people can afford. So the minute we approve this, probably on Thursday, the portal will open. There's a supplementary report on the agenda today with the portal URL. And I know that many builders are going to rush in and say that I'm going to claim the 7,000 units. Not all of them. Not one developer can do all of them. We're limiting that to, because we're worried, because there were people who said, we'll take the entire 7,000, one developer. No, each can only have 2 projects up to, so it'll be up to 7,000. And so we can't afford to have the housing pipeline dry up because of the difficult market conditions. We need to see these rental homes built, and we will work with the industry to make it happen. When the portal opens, the staff will evaluate, and then they will approve. They don't even have to come back to council to approve these units, these 7,000 housing units. So it's going to be very fast. There will be a report back in December to say, here are the projects we have approved, and we see shuffle in the ground happening probably at next year sometime. So that is the way that we could continue to build a affordable, kind and caring city, and that is why I'm working hard to help those that are struggling right now. I will take some questions that you may have.
Have you seen the staff report on the bike lane?
No, it hasn't come out yet. We think it will come out probably, I don't know, later today or later this afternoon. I have not seen it yet.
Is that enough time for council to consider it?
Yes, council will probably look at that report on probably Thursday. It depends on what time. Let me just look at... yeah, so sometime today, you have to ask strategic communication, the precise time. I'm sorry, it's a city staff report. I don't have complete control over it. I'm wanting to see it as much as you do. So I have not seen it, so I can't tell you anything in it at this point.
Mayor, the police board has adopted a 5-year hiring plan. The city, we don't know yet what the city will be paying its police officers in the next collective agreement. How can the city commit to having more officers and paying them when we don't know that cost, and how can that be paid for, whether it's reducing services that address some of the root causes of crimes in terms of social services?
Well, this hiring plan offers stability for police and for the city budget. It makes it more predictable. As the chief has said, this is a historic plan. And as you know, we have an aging population. Police, just like the fire department, are facing a record number of retirements, so stability matters. We need other levels of government to step up and help us implement this plan. Of course, safety, it's complex on how to reduce crime, and deal with safety. So you've seen us a big investment in the Toronto Community Crisis Unit. So when you call 211, when someone has a mental health crisis, they can call 211. We'll be there to support them. We're also investing on youth violence programs, youth hubs into libraries. All of those combined help deal with the safety issues. But predictability and stability are very important.
Okay, we've been listening in on Mayor Olivia Chow speaking ahead of today's council meeting at City Hall. She started by talking about her affordable housing plan to build 7,000 rental housing units. She says that shovels will probably hit the ground sometime next year. Also touched briefly on bike lanes. That's sure to be debated today. And also spoke to a reporter about their 5-year hiring plan, which would be historic for the Toronto Police. We know that response times have really grown to levels not seen in recent years, and also talking about how youth programs will also be implemented to support that.